Alright, Shalom. Before I get started, I want to start by saying, Call Halam La Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, B'Kakadash. Double honors to my apostle elders, the great millstone that taught me the truth and that rule well. And peace and salutation to you brothers that's pushing this word in our righteousness and sincerity to USA Shalom. This is Brother Amawan from the GMS Charlotte Camp coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, B'Kakadash. And pretty much the lesson I'm going to go into is how Israel has fallen, and you have this picture on the screen, of 70 AD, which when you know the history, 70 AD was when Israel was ran out of Jerusalem. When Esau came and sacked the kingdom, like the temple, man. And so that's the same way spiritually that we are in, as far as when you look at our people nowadays, man. Here in America, because our people have been sacked, they've been stripped of everything, man, and pretty much we've been broken down to the lowest form of degeneracy, man. All right, and this is all because of Yahweh Shemel Shah, turning his face from us and taking away the hedge that he had around us. When you read about when we used to go to war in the Old Testament, man, because that's how we were able to go to war with few numbers against great nations and come back unscathed, man, because Yahweh Shemal Shah, he protected us, man, but because we disobeyed him and broke the law, statutes, commandments that were given unto us. The Lord turned his face from us and allowed our heathen, allowed our enemies, the heathen, to come in and overtake us, man. All right, and so I'm gonna go into that. So I'm gonna begin here in Isaiah 59:2, and it says, "But your iniquities have separated between you and your power, and your sins have hid his face from you, and he will not hear." Right, because of continual disobedience and hatred towards the law, statutes, commandments, which is proof of the covenant that Yahweh Shema Shah made between us and our ancient forefathers, starting with Abraham, that was passed down to Isaac and Jacob and to us, you know, because we continue to, disobey the Lord's words, man. Go worship, these heathens, idols, going and pretty much doing everything against what Yahweh Shema Shah's will was, man. You know, that's what separated us between our power, man. That's why the Lord turned his face from us, man, because of our obedience. And, 2/3 of our people, you know, continually disobey Yahweh Shem Shai. And that's why, the spirit of wisdom won't sup with them, man. Because as we know, when you read Wisdom of Solomon, that wisdom won't dwell in a malicious soul, man. So 2/3 have a malicious spirit, man, which is why they constantly are given over to sin, man. They're in bondage unto sin because the Lord is not dealing with them. He didn't want them to wake up, man, and that's why us as a whole, we fail as a people, man. Because even the elect, we were once in the world. We were once bound to sin, before Yahweh Shema Shah woke us up and took us out the world, man. But us as a whole, the Lord, his face is still turned from us, man. And so that's why we had to have Yahweh Shah come down and pretty much, be the mediator between us and the Heavenly Father to bring us back unto him, man. And so this is why our people are in the state that we're in now, okay? And so, continuing on, I'm going to jump to Isaiah 5:1. It says, "And now go to, I will tell you what I will do to my vineyard. I will take away the hedge thereof, and it shall be eaten up, and break down the walls thereof, and it shall be trodden down." All right, and so what Yahweh Shemal Shah did was, took away the hedge of protection from us, because we know that the angels, are all around us, protecting us. So he took that hedge away, and allowed our enemies to come in and overtake us, man. Which is why I have this illustration on the screen, so you can, you know, visually, go along with the lesson, so you can understand, the impact of what has happened to us as a people, man. Okay, so Yahweh Shemel Shah has done this, and this is what allowed Esau, the so-called white man, to come over to the west coast of Africa, and pretty much starting with the native tribes, man. And then go into the southern tribe, pretty much put us all in captivity under him, and strip us of everything. That's why, Jeremiah 17:4 tells us that, we were going to discontinue from our heritage, man. All right, and that's because Esau stripped us of everything, man. You know, because Yahweh Shema Shah allowed that because he gave us unto his hands, man. All right. So jumping to Isaiah 1 and 7, it says, your country is desolate, your cities are burned with fire, your land, strangers devour it in your presence, and it is desolate as overthrown by strangers. The daughter of Zion is left as a cottage in a vineyard, as a dodge in a garden of cucumbers, as a besieged city. And just like in 70 AD, man, all right, the Edomites, they totally destroyed Jerusalem, man. All right, ran us out until the western part of Africa and different parts of Europe. They totally destroyed our holy land, man. And you look at the people, because we know Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. It's our people are destroyed as well, man. Show you that, hey, just like how you see a besieged city, the the buildings burning, all destroyed, man. You seeing dead bodies all throughout the streets. That's spiritually Israel, man. And that's how you see our people now, man. Because our people are total degenerates, at this point in time now, man. You just look at them; they're the epitome of destroyed, man. Tattoos all on their face, man. The women are masculine, the men are feminine. Don't have any type of wisdom. And they just pretty much, are zombies walking around, man. Don't know anything about nothing, man, and especially not nothing spiritual concerning, their spirit or their power, man. And that's all thanks to our enemies getting out over us, because they knew according to Judith, the book of Judith, that when we sin, that the Most High, he took the hedge away from them and allowed the heathen to overtake Israel, man. They knew that, and this is proof. This is Judith 5:17. And whilst they sinned not before their power, they prospered, because the power that hated iniquity was with them. And that's what I spoke about earlier, about how Israel, with few men, would go to war with great nations, great number of nations, army, and they come back unscathed, man, because the power that hated iniquity, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, Israel's power was with them, man. It says, but when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles very sore, and were led captive into the land that was not theirs, and the temple of their power was cast to the ground, and the cities were taken by the enemies. But now are they returned to their power, and came up and are come up from the places wherein they Slakia. That's that's the end of the point. Verse 18 is the point. I'm gonna go back. It says, but when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles very sore, and were led captive into a land that was not theirs. The temple of their power was cast to the ground, and their cities were taken by the enemies. Right, and that's exactly what happened in this illustration. That's exactly what happened to Israel now, man. That's why we're over here in the land of America, man, because we're serving out our captivity under our oppressors, man. Because like I said, the northern tribes, they got it first, man. The so-called Indians, the so-called Mexicans, and you go in history and look that up, dude. The conquistadors, man. How they got Hispaniola and the different parts of South America, man. And over here in North America, they got it first, and then Esau came, with the help of the Hamites and the Ishmaelites, man. They came and they came together and destroyed us, man. That's what really funded the transatlantic slave trade, man. Because all these nations had us in captivity at one point or another, man. Every nation under the heavens had Israel in captivity, because Israel continued to go off, man, and the Lord allowed these different heathen to come up and overtake us, man. And so this is proof that all the nations came together. This is Psalms 2:1. It says, the kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us, man, because these heathen hated, and they still hate Israel, man. And so what they did was all come together on one accord, like you read in Psalms 83, and it says that they conspired together and said that they was going to, break our bands asunder and cast away the cords from us, which pretty much means they was going to disconnect us from Yahweh Shem Shah and cease the name of Israel from being in the earth. And they succeeded in that, once the transatlantic slave trade happened, man, and, all of Israel was conquered, because Israel, even to this day, you got 2/3, that don't know they're Israelites, man, But the name of Israel, it has came back. And so that showed you that Yahweh Shem Shah, is real, man. He's a living power because he established his name, back into a destroyed nation, man. All right. And so this is precept real quick. Ecclesiastes 4:1. It says, "So I returned and considered all the oppressions that were done under the sun, and behold, the tears of such as were oppressed." We know that's talking about Israel, man. It said they had no comforter on the top. It's like, and on the side of their oppressors was power, but they had no comforter, right? Because we had no comfort in this captivity, man. Because our enemies overtook us. They beat, killed us. They robbed us of literally everything. Mentally, physically, and spiritually. And left us totally desolate, man. And so, you look at the state of our people, and it brings tears to you, man, because you see, the total destroyed state of, a great people, man, because we are a great people, man. But if you let our enemies tell you, we're nothing more than, slaves, man. We're nothing in society, according to these heathen, man. And that's why, our people are like this, because they don't have any hope, because they know themselves that they're through, man. They're destroyed, man. And so they don't have any hope, man. And you're constantly being banged on, telling you that, nobody loves you, that you ain't nothing, you're a waste of existence. Our people have been embedded that into their beings, man. And they truly move like that, man. So we had no comforter, before we had this truth. All right, and this is another precept, Lamentations 1:16. "For these things I weep, mine eye runneth down with water, because the comforter that we should, it's like that should relieve my soul is far from me. My children are desolate because the enemies prevail." And our comfort was far from us, because we know that Yahweh Shem Shah is our comfort, man. He's our safe haven, and without him, we were totally left exposed, man. And so that's why we were overtaken and we were destroyed, man, because our comforter is far from us, man. It says, jumping up to verse 9. It says, "Her filthiness is in her skirts. She remembered not her last end. Therefore she came down wonderfully. She had no comforter, O Lord. Behold my affliction, for the enemy have magnified himself." And that's, we constantly cry out to Yahweh Shem Shah to, to come back, and heal us, man, and deliver us, because hey, we're destroyed. We have no control. We have no power. We have nothing here. You know, that's why the Lord, he constantly described us as worms, man. Because hey, a worm has no defense, man, and that's totally how we are now, man. We're defenseless in the hands of our enemies, because our enemies have been given power, because like I said, the Lord gave us over unto them, and he's has his faith here from us, man. So we have no protection. We have nothing to hide us from the enemy, man. So that I say that until Yahweh Shem Shai, put his spirit back on us, man. Which I'm gonna get into that, but just to continue to show you that hey, our enemies, they succeeded in totally abasing and destroying us as a people, man. I'm gonna keep saying that too. All right, this is proof, because when they said they was going to cause the remembrance of Israel to cease, man, that happened, to where Israel, and it's still to where you got people, that hear that so-called Negro, Latino, Native American are the Israelites, man, and they can't see it. Why? Because the total destruction of our people. And this is proof. Lamentations 2:15. "All that pass by clap their hands at thee; they hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, Is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth?" Right? Because when you look at a Negro, Latino, or Native American, you don't see greatness in them, man. You don't see beauty in them, man. Because all you see is wounds, sorrow, and pain. You don't see any type of, you know, positive vibration from them, man. Because like I said, they've been taught that there's no hope, for us, man. And so they live their life as such, man. And so the world can't see a nigga that walks down the street with his damn, his pants hanging off his ass, man, or wearing these, nowadays you can't even use that description because these dudes are walking around with dresses and skirts and stuff on now, man, tight clothes. Either description, you can't look at that as being, the great people when as you hear about, with King David, King Solomon, you know, Samson, Elijah. You can't equate these people that you see walking every day until these great men, in the scriptures, man. You know, that's why they mock us when they hear us say that, man. It says, "All thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee; they hiss and gnash the teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. Certainly, this is the day that we look for. We have found, we have seen it." And they rejoice in that because they see that, hey, they destroyed us, man. So when they hear us coming back to claim our nationality, they just like, man, shut up, nigga. They don't believe that, man. Because they have pretty much succeeded in their plan, which was to destroy us all the way, man, out the earth. You know, and pretty much they want to get to a point to where, hey, we don't even exist anymore, man. That's the end goal for the so-called white man. Esau. You know, this is why Revelation 11:8 says this, man. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt. And this land where we're talking about the dead bodies is America, man. All right, America is that great city because this place is spiritual Sodom and Egypt, man. Because you see, we're living in Sodom and Gomorrah, man. Examples don't even have to be made anymore because you just know, man. You know, and this is spiritual Egypt because, hey, we're in captivity to where everything you're a slave on many levels here in America, man. All right, you're a debt slave. You're you go to prison, man. You become a slave to the government. You know, and you got to constantly work. So we're wage slaves, man. The word employee actually means slave, man. All right, so we have taskmasters who are your managers. Who are your police. So this is Egypt, man. So it's not hard to grasp that either, man. All you gotta do is turn over your dollar bill and you look at the pyramid with the CNI, the all CNI on it, man. All right. So it says also where our Lord was crucified, and Yahweh Shai is crucified here every day, man. And the biggest blasphemous remark that they use is saying that he's a so-called white man. All right, when he's from the tribe of Judah. All right, but it says, and they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves. And the dead bodies is talking about Israel, man, because without the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shah within us, hey, we're dead, man. So I would quote, Proverbs 21:16, because it says that them that walketh out of the way of understanding is the congregation of the dead, man. So without this knowledge of understanding inside of you, you're dead, man. All right, and it said that they didn't suffer us to be buried in graves, man, because they didn't throw the dirt on us, which pretty much will signify that we're dead, man. Which what that means is they didn't tell us that we're Israelites, man. They told us that we were so-called blacks, man. That we're Mexicans, that we're Native Americans, man. You know, that we're everything under the sun except for being the true sons of God, man. It says, and they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry and send gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwell on the earth. And they rejoice in that fact because that was their end goal, man. To see you in this state that we're in now, man. To totally abase, all right? Because the gift they were traded, not only was it, things like wine and gold or whatnot, but it was actually us, man, as property, man. You know, I believe it was in Joel, where he talks about, they sold a girl for wine and a boy for a harlot or something like that, man. They was actually selling us, man. And you see examples of that when you watch movies like Goodbye Uncle Tom, man. So it says that and shall send gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwell on earth. And the two prophets is talking about Israel, man, the northern and the southern kingdom. Because when we was in our righteous power, under the rule of King David, and we put hell on all these heathen, man. And that's why they hate us, man, because they know when we're in our true power that we're unstoppable, man. and we always put our foot, up their ass, man. And so this is proof because the main one that's over us is the so-called white man. And so everybody in the earth, reverence him as he, like he is the Most High, man. And because they're pretty much in cahoots with this devil, you know, and they said that's the main one they go straight to help destroy Jake, man, because that's where the true hate lies within Esau, man, you know, and this is just for the proof, Luke 16:21. There was a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen, and fared sumptuously every day. Which this is Esau, because this is going into the parable of Lazarus, man. But the point I wanted to get is in verse 21, where it's going into how the heathen benefit off us too. So I'm gonna keep reading. It says, and there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which Lazarus is talking about Israel, man. All right, which was laid at his gate full of sores, because hey, we're through out here, man. Beaten, you know, the tossed aside, destroyed, sickly. That's all describing Israel, man, and desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table, because that's what Jake is doing, man, eating off the crumbs of Esau's, off his, pretty much everything that he's done. We're trying to, pretty much, get it fed from him, man. But like I said, while he's eating good, we're just getting crumbs, man. And it says, moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores, and the dogs is talking about the other nations, man, because while Esau has totally destroyed us, you know, they're right there alongside them, licking our swords, man. And that's why you have these different nations like Ishmael, Elam, Moab, in your neighborhoods, with their stores, the Chinese food, the side stores or whatever, the bodegas or whatever you call them joints, man. The gas stations, and they're pretty much helping sell destruction to you, man. The Chinese food is straight destruction to you, man. You going into these different Arab and Elam stores, man, buying these malt liquor, buying the wraps, the cigarillos or whatever for your weed and shit, man. That's helping destroy you. The cigarettes, so they're helping destroy you alongside Esau, man. That's how I show you that they're in cahoots, and they all are pretty much benefiting off of your destruction, man. All right, so this is where Yahweh Shemal Shah is coming in to raise us up, though, man. Because like I said, without His Spirit, man, all right, Israel will be destroyed to where we will cease to exist, man. That's why Yahweh Shemal Shah he saved a remnant of His people by putting His Spirit back in them, and that's why Israel is rising up now, man. This is what you're seeing, with the different camps popping up, all over the world, man. And not only we talking about GMS, but you got these camps preaching Israel altogether, even though some of them going off on the doctrine. But at the end of the day, they're still Israelites pushing Israel. So the name of Israel is back into the earth, man. Yasharallah, man. All right, which means that the name of Yahweh Shemal Shah is being magnified by His true believers, man, which is the elect. All right, and this is proof. This is Ezekiel 37:1. The hand of the Lord was upon me and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of dry bones. All right, and that's talking about here in America, amongst all you Negro, Latino, Native Americans that don't know you're Israelites, man. You are the dry bones that the scripture is talking about. And caused me to pass by them round about, and behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry. And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, O Lord, thou knowest. Again, and he said unto me, prophesy unto these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, and hear the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. All right, and that breath is talking about this knowledge and understanding, man. All right, he breathed that back into our people, going all the way back to and starting with, Elder Abba Bivens, who was Elijah and John the Baptist in the reincarnation, for those that can receive it. And the proof of that is when you go into the last chapter of Malachi, man. It tells you that he was going to send Elijah back at the end. All right, and that's proof that John the Baptist was Elijah and John the Baptist, man. Slightly, Abba Bivens was Elijah and John the Baptist, man, in the reincarnation. All right, because he said he was going to send Elijah back, man. All right, And Elijah came back, and that's proof that Israel came back, man, because he started, putting the name of Israel being back, being the so-called Negro Latino Native Americans back into the earth, man. And from there, you see how this truth has spread like a wildfire, man. All right, and so it says that the Lord says He's going to cause breath to enter into you, and you shall live. And I will lay sinews upon you, and the sinews is talking about the ligaments and the different things connecting your tissue, to your muscles. Pretty much, he's putting us back on our feet, man. He's building our bodies back up. He's bringing us back to life, man. All right. It says, and I will bring up flesh upon you and cover you with skin and put breath in you, and you shall live. All right, and that's what the Lord has done, man. Just like how you see, somebody, you watch these like anime shows or movies or whatever. When somebody gets reanimated or reformed or whatever, they show you the skeleton. Then all the meat starts to come back. The ligaments, the joints, and all that, and then they show the skin, and they show them come to life, man. That's what the Lord has done to us spiritually. That's all spiritual talk of how he brought us back from the dead, man. All right, and it says, and I will put breath in you, and ye shall live, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. And Yahweh Shemel shall put His name back into us, man. So that's why when we heard about the truth, man, it immediately, clicked within us, and we were able to receive it, man, because the Spirit was put back into us, man, through the men that He gave the Spirit to go teach, man. That's why you see, our elders, that were taught by their elders and so on, going all the way back from our business, man. And look how this truth has spread now, man. All right, and so it says, so I prophesied as I was commanded, and as I prophesied, there was a noise, and behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone, and when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came up upon them, and the skin covered them above. There was no breath in them. All right, because like I said earlier, man, you got Israel popping up all throughout the world, but not all these Israelites that are teaching Israel have the true breath, man. All right, because they say that they're Israelites, man, but you got some of them teaching, that the name of Yahweh Shemel Shai is incorrect. They're coming in different names, man. You got some people teaching, that Esau can be saved. You got people teaching, that what's some more thing they talk about? The Babylon is the Vatican. All these different false doctrines that they're pushing, man. That's showing you that that the Lord, he put skin upon the bones, but he said there was no breath in them, man, because they don't have the true spirit within them. Otherwise, then they would be teaching the 100% truth, which we here at Great Millstone, we teach 100% truth, man. That by what the scriptures is saying, man. All right, and so it says, then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus says the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain, that they may live. And that's why you have, starting with our apostle elders, going out every week, and prophesying, if somebody's, is on the other side listening, or we just, prophesy to the camera, man. But we do that, upload these videos onto YouTube, and to where everybody in the world can get on YouTube and find these videos and watch it, man, and wake up. That's how the Lord has put His Spirit and His breath back into the world, and that's how Israel has began to wake up, man. Okay, and so jumping back to Revelations 11, and Revelation 11:11, it says, and after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of life from Yahweh Shemel Shai entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. All right, and I believe that 3 days and a half is 350 years of when Israel, didn't know that we were Israel, man. All right, because prior to what Esau will tell you about whenever they came and took us, from the western coast of Africa, man, they told us that we were savages and whatnot, man. But our people had kingdoms over there in Africa, man, and we knew we were Israelites, man. We knew we were Israelites up until when the so-called white man brought us over here to Americas and the different, different islands, So that they took that from us, but Yahweh Shemel Shah put that breath back into us. Like I said, starting with Abba Bivens, man, And it says that, and great fear fell upon them which saw them, because these nations are afraid now because they see Israel coming back in their right power, man, coming back in our right mind, and they're afraid, man, because they can't stop it, man. No matter how much they try to suppress this truth, delete channels, more heavily regulate YouTube or whatnot, man. They can't stop this truth from coming out, man. All right, because it's everywhere now. In every form of media, everywhere you turn, you hear something about Israel now. So you got regular people going up and down the street talking about Israelites, man. The Hebrew Israelites, man, on things you never would expect, man. You got Vice.com, Vice. They talking about the Israel, man. You on the mainstream news now, man. Rappers are talking about it. It's in movies, so it can't be stopped anymore, man. Yahweh Shema Shai has put his spirit out, and these heathen are afraid, man, because they know when we get back in full power, when our Lord and Savior comes and delivers us out of the hands of you damn heathen, all right, we gonna put pure hell upon y'all, man, because the vengeance of the Lord is gonna recompense His people. All right, the Lord told us that if we stay patient, that He's gonna give us y'all, man. Okay, so this us being on the bottom isn't gonna last too much longer, man. All right, so it says, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither, and they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. All right, because when the Lord unleashes his righteous indignation, which is going to come from these ICBM nuclear missiles that's going to be shot off upon America and land of Israel, other parts of the world by all these different countries, that have built up their nuclear arsenal, and alongside the chariots that's going to come down here and be and destroying and saving brothers. All right, that's what you're gonna be seeing, man. Is destruction and deliverance at the same time, man. You're gonna be held at because you're gonna see so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans, and even brothers that don't look like so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans that are scattered throughout all these different countries that look like you other heathen, but are truly Israelites in the spirit, man. You're gonna be seeing them get delivered up in these so-called UFOs, man, which you've been lied to and told that these are aliens, man. These are Israelites that are piloting these spacecrafts, man. That's angelic, technology, man. That you can't comprehend. That's what's going to confuse and terrify you, man. Because hey, you didn't think that these niggas and spicks and monkeys, you didn't think that these were actually the children of the Lord, man. So when you beheld these things, man, you gonna be astonished, man, until you see them come back out them ships and them new bodies, man, and put hell upon you, man. Because when we get you, we gonna put you in a hardcore slavery, man. All right. So proof of that, man. Before I go into that, this is Matthew 19:30. It says, "But many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first." So Israel's not gonna be on the bottom forever, man. All right. We're gonna say we're gonna be first, man. Last shall be first. We're gonna be in a rulership seat and have the whole universe under subjection, under the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. So we're gonna come out this destroyed state, man, and the elect is gonna bring Israel back anew in that righteous form, man, and in the glory of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. All right, and you heathen are gonna behold that, man. Okay, Amos 9:11. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof. And the Lord has done that, man, because as you know, the tabernacle of David, Mayal Dawadah, hey, the house of David, hey, it consisted of the northern and the southern kingdom, because at that time, hey, Israel was together, man. The kingdom didn't split up until after the death of King Solomon, man. All right, so the northern kingdom is coming back together, man, and that's why you're seeing Negro, Latino, Native Americans, so-called, waking up and coming out and teaching together, man, because we're all one people, man. You so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans are brothers, man, and sisters, all right? We're the same people, and the Lord is closing the breaches up to where there's no more differences among the southern and northern kingdom, man. We're coming back together through the Spirit of the Lord. And I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old, man, because as we know, the kingdom of David, man, under his rule, because he was a man after Yahweh Shema Shah's heart, man. Hey, we were a force to be reckoned with, man. We were untouchable, man. Greatly feared amongst the earth because the Lord was with us at that time, man. And that's going to come back into the earth, man. It says that they may possess the remnant of Edom and of all the heathen which are called by my name, saith the Lord that doeth this. So when he raises up the elect of Israel, we gonna go out and put all you other nations, starting with you Edomites, into captivity under us, man. And you Edomites are gonna get the worst of that slavery, man. All right, because you are possessions of us, anyways, man. Okay, this is back in Psalms 2, jumping down to verse 7. It says, "I will declare the decree. The Lord hath said unto me, Thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thy inheritance," proving that all you other nations belong unto us, man. All right, because the earth and everything inside of it is Israel's possession, man. All right, so even you heathens, you belong unto us, man, and you heathen know that, man. That's why under the rule of the so-called white man, you see that he's the devil now, and now you're trying to, you know, plead to Israel, wake up, man. Because you see how the world is being ran, and you want the righteous to come back in power so the world can be ran the right way, man. All right, because when Israel gets in the power seat, like the lesson I made, a couple weeks ago, man, the earth is gonna be in peace. Even though you heathens are gonna be in slavery, man, you gonna love it, man, because you gonna finally see how righteousness looks, man. Because hey, you gonna keep the law on that day. We're gonna enforce it. Because if not, this is what's gonna happen, man. If you don't follow the rule of Israel, if you don't keep the law, statutes, commandments in that day, this is what's gonna happen, man. All right. It says, "Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel." So if you don't keep the law, statutes, commandments, man, it says we're gonna break you like we're gonna break you like a potter, man. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel, man. We're gonna dash you nation to pieces, and we're gonna have fun doing it, man, because that's righteous recompense from Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. For all the hell that you put upon us, man, the Lord's gonna give everything back, twofold, man. You know, but the only difference between you heathen is that Esau is gonna be the only one that's gonna be eradicated, man. All right, after 1,000 years, all right, you other heathen, man, the other nations, you're gonna be sent back to your lands, but you still gonna be, tributaries unto the nation of Israel, man. All right, so the world's gonna be at peace, when we get the rulership back, and Israel is gonna be put back on high, man. We're gonna be in our full glory in that day, man. It's not gonna be no more destruction of the Israelites, man. So that's what we're waiting for, man. That's the whole reason why all these different things are happening, man. Because the Lord, is showing us, wickedness so that we can judge righteously, man. All right. So this is all for a reason. Okay. So with that being said, I pray that you were edified. Until next time, I want to say, call halam like Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Bashem Makakadash. Double honors to my apostle, Elder the Great Millstone, taught me this truth and that rule well. And peace and citation to the elect. Shalom.